what is that one piece of advice about courage and leadership that you could give to the next generation of women leaders out there? What would that be?
Teach the person to fish instead of giving them the fish. Giving them the tools, teaching them, and then letting them learn from it, because then that's going to help them further on in their life instead of just spoon feeding them and giving answers and giving information. We don't always need to be strong. We don't always have to put a strong front. People see that we are only human. They then become more open to working with you, journey with you in whatever work that they do. Take courage. Don't be afraid. It is better to do than fear doing, then later on regretting that you didn't do it. Be persistent. Go for your goal. Map how you think that is the way forward towards that goal and go for it. Create good habits. Habits is important. Don't be afraid. Be courageous, knowing that you are good enough, that it's okay not to be okay. So don't give up. If you must, rest, but don't give up.
Welcome to the Summit series of Voices of Courage Asia, where we celebrate leaders, changemakers, and visionaries who embody courage and drive transformative change. I'm your host for today. My name is Lillian, and in this special series, we're going to explore stories of resilience, leadership, and the bold steps taken to create meaningful change. And today, I have a very, very special guest, and she's none other than Jacqueline. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Lillian. Morning.
Hi. Morning. How are you today?
Okay, good. Going to getting ready for the start of another day.
Yeah. For those of you who do not know Jacqueline, she is a corporate governance expert. All right, helping businesses thrive. Jacqueline is a chartered secretary and founder of JBL Corporate Services, with 20 over years of experience guiding businesses through Singapore legal and regulatory landscape. Right, she's also a trusted advisor in governance and compliance. She has helped thousands of companies navigate complex business matters. And above and beyond that, she's also one of the team leaders at Women of Courage Asia and has been a cornerstone contributor and pillar. Right. So I'm so privileged to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about courage and leadership and transformation, right? And you are a exemplary role model of that. And therefore, the audience are in for a great treat. We are going to, extract all the wisdom and experience from you.
Okay, I hope we'll do justice to it. Yeah, we all learn together.
Yeah, you're so humble. Okay, now, first question, we're talking about inspiring courage, right? For a transformative impact. So what does that mean to you personally?
I think for me, it's doing what you need to do in spite of the fear. Because I think fear always holds us back. So I think if we try to not let the fear affect us, just do what you need to do in spite of it.
Yeah, so just do it afraid.
Yes. Do it afraid.
I think that's our logo, right? We add on to Nike's do it. So we just do it afraid.
Yes, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So what inspired you to step into this leadership role, and how has this journey influenced others because of you stepping into the leadership role?
Okay, I feel that we all have a purpose in life, which involves others. We can't work in isolation, we can't work alone. We grow better when we grow together. So I hope that, my contribution has helped others in their journeys, help influence others. But yeah, I firmly believe that we cannot do things alone. We need to have people around us, a community, whether mentors, whether it's formal or informal, because I think there's always a lot of learnings you can get from each other.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for all the years of contribution. We all have benefited from your support and leadership.
Thank you
Yeah.
for giving me the opportunity.
All right. And I think the next question that I'm going to check in with you is about stories because we are all we love stories, right? Stories of courage. Can you share with the audience a story of when you had to make a very courageous decision as a leader? Because as leader, we make decisions all the time, right? And oftentimes very difficult decisions. Do you have one story that you can share with the audience about that decision making and required courage?
Hmm. I think the one that stands out for me, the most courageous decision would be when I stepped out of corporate and started my own business. As we all know, it's again doing it in fear. It's scary because you're stepping away from a comfort of monthly stable salary, monthly income, but then now going into business, you're not sure what it's going to be like. The stability is not there anymore. There's no more support. There's no more big name behind you and things like that. But yeah, I think that was my most courageous step that I took. Yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah.
I remember that, and that was also during the COVID period, right? That you stepped out, that you pivoted out from employment to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I left before COVID happened, but when I started, it was when COVID happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think wow,
Mm,
I mean that really requires a lot of courage.
yeah. But I'm
And
thankful for the people around me, my business partners, and I think they helped and made a difference as well.
And I mean, now you are working with people, you are leading teams, right? Not only in the community, but also in your company. So how do you actually encourage and cultivate courage in the people and that you are leading, the team that you are leading? How do you do that?
I believe in leadership by example and having open communication, giving people a safe space to make mistakes, but learning from it. I think that is something that has helped, and that helps the team, that helps the people and the communities that I work with. That at the end of the day, we're doing this together. When they see you doing it as well, then they feel more motivated and they say, if she can do it, I can do it too. So I think that's what drives me to do what I do.
Yeah, I think leading by example, walking the talk is the best way to cultivate and encourage others to be courageous, right?
Mm,
Yeah. Yes. And of course, being part of the team, I see how you walk the talk and I see you how you lead by example. So you inspire me and that encouraged me to be more courageous as well.
thank you.
Yeah. Now, we work with women a lot, and I mean, in our community, definitely. But in your workplace, how's the ratio like for the women and male in your industry?
Interestingly, our team majority females. Yeah, not because we want females only, but somehow or other, I think the work that we do tend to be female oriented, like your corporate secretarial services.
Hmm.
Mm. So yeah, we do have a lot of women in our team.
Right.
Mm.
So, what are some of the common challenge or struggle that you see are very evident in women leaders, and yeah, how can we overcome that challenge? Or what is that very evident challenge that you see most of the time?
Imposter syndrome, self-limiting belief. I
Mhm.
think we always put ourselves um, or we don't think of ourselves as intelligent enough. We always think there's always someone better out there. And even no matter how good we are, we always think that we're not good enough.
Mm,
So I think women tend to do that.
right. So for those who share with you about this struggle, right, very openly and vulnerably, how do you help them to overcome that?
I think the good thing is that we are seeing it from outside. So we see a different perspective. Like they always say, we always see the worst in ourselves, right? But other people see the good parts. So when I talk to other women who may feel that way, I give them the positives of what I see, so that then it gives them um, confirmation that they are good enough, that they have things in them that they themselves don't see, but others do. So yeah, that's my little part that I play to help other women see the better in themselves.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I think highlighting as leaders, we want to highlight the strength in others, right? Like you said, most of us are very good at self-criticizing of, very self-critical. Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
totally resonate with that. Like, you don't need to criticize me. I know how to criticize myself very well.
Yeah,
Master of that.
that's true. Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why having that environment and the people surrounding ourselves with courageous women leaders that see the good in us, see the strength in us, and highlighting it to us and encouraging us to embrace our strength. I think that is really really very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Right. And in terms of social impact, we're all doing this together for creating a social impact, right? And creating a meaningful change in our communities. So what role does courage play in driving this social impact? What do you think what role does courage play in this?
Courage allows us to stand up for what we believe in
Mm.
and to fight for what we believe in. So having that courage to do the right thing, helping others go through their challenges, whatever that may be. And when you put a community of courageous people together, you can move mountains. So I think it's not just one person's courage, it's a collective of people courageously going forward, fighting for the same cause, whatever that may be. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love that collective courage, when you see courage all coming together. Wow, that's a powerful force.
Mm, yeah, that's right. So that's why having communities, it's a great thing. Because then we work together, we help each other, support each other, motivate each other.
Yeah, so that's why our community, if you come in, right, you can't help but have to be courageous.
Yes, you put us, you really make sure we be courageous. Yes, I think that's something that I've learned to do more to or to be more of.
Yeah, this and courage is contagious.
Yeah, you
And
see someone courageous, I want to do it. She can do it, I can do it too.
yeah, and here we believe in iron sharpening iron, right? So that we all can be sharper and better in a becoming a better version of ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Can you highlight an example right, of a transformative leadership that you have seen and inspired you recently? Maybe recently, is there any example that you can highlight of a transformative leadership that you witnessed?
Okay, I don't know if we can look at this as a transformative leadership, but I think it is a process to it. So the one that stands out the most for me just recently is my daughter. So she is very persistent, which I've learned, and I think that inspires me. So the story is she wanted to learn to ride the motorcycle. And you know how
Wow.
scary that is, right? I mean, the
Yeah, for a
scenarios
mom.
in scenarios in my head about the worst case scenarios and things like that, right? And I didn't forbid her from doing it because I always believe in giving the young ones the room to grow and learn, right? But okay,
Yeah.
I just whatever scenarios that came out, I'll let her know and things like that. But she was very persistent. She diligently went through the classes, um, paid for it herself because she knew, at the end of the day, if I want to do this, I'm going to have to do it myself in a way. And yeah, now she went through everything and she's got a motorcycle license. So I don't know whether that's making me it makes me proud that she took the courage to do it and persistently went for it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm scared because now that she's got a license, and means she can ride a motorbike, and of course there are those worries that are there. But I think that really inspired me. That
Mm.
if you put your mind to it, forget all the naysayers. It can be done.
Mm. Yeah, I think that is also that speaks a lot about self leadership, right?
Mm.
Because she's able to lead herself to persist in and stay focused on her goal. Yeah. And like you say, in spite of all the naysayers and all the
Mm.
whatever negative voices that may come within her and outside of her.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't stop me worrying.
I think as moms, we never stop worrying for our children. Yeah.
That's
But I
right.
mean, we're also learning to embrace them as who they are and be supportive of what they want to do. Which actually, brings me to the next question about mentorship and empowerment. Because by allowing them to grow and make decisions on their own and to explore and experiment, we are not uh, we are not doing it for them, right, or imposing our ideas on them, but we are just guiding them alongside them. Yeah. So I mean, that's my perspective about mentoring and empowerment, right? Don't always spoon feed them with the answers, right?
Very
But
true.
encourage them to throw them thought provoking questions to draw out to get them to come up with the answers and all that. That's my perspective. So what would be your advice for, because there are leaders, we have a lot of leaders around us, and like it or not, actually, in every area of our life, we are a leader, right? Yeah, whether you're a mother, a father, a teacher, yeah. So what advice do you have, for leaders out there who are actually, striving to make an impact while staying true to their values?
Don't afraid to be vulnerable.
Mm.
We don't always need to be strong. We don't always have to put a strong front. I think when people see that we are only human, right, they then become more open to working with you, to to journey with you in whatever work that they do. Even whether it's in the office or at the home front, I think that is something we can do, and be
Mm.
empathetic. Um, there's always this quote that I live by, which is teach the person to fish instead of giving them the fish, just like what you've mentioned earlier, right? So
Mm.
it's giving them the tools, teaching them, and then letting them learn from it, because then that's going to help them further on in their life, instead of
Yeah,
just giving spoon feeding them and giving answers and giving information.
yeah, totally agree with you. Yeah. So yeah, that's let that sink in for a while. Yeah. Don't always, wait for people to spoon feed us. Yeah, I think it's more important to learn how to fish rather than just
Mm,
always asking for the fish, right?
yeah, that's right.
Mm, awesome. Now, regarding mentorship, how can mentorship inspire courage and empower future transformative leaders?
Mentorship works whether formally or informally, I believe.
Mm.
You don't necessarily have to have a mentor that you know is there. You could learn from people, watching them, seeing how they do what they do. I think that is one way, but it definitely helps
Mm.
learning from others who have been there, done that, because then we learn from their successes and their failures. So I think it is important having
Mm.
mentors. Mm.
Yeah, I I mean, like, I wouldn't be where I am here in this season of my life without the mentors in my life. throughout the whole journey. And I'm still continuing growing and learning with the support of so many different mentors in life. So which is why we are now mentoring as well, right? We received, we were the recipients of somebody who believed in us, and provided mentoring for us. And now we are also doing that, the same for the next generation. I think, this is a beautiful um, thing to carry on, to continue on. So that's why we are, having our communities at Women of Courage Asia, a Courage Business Network for this for entrepreneurs. And then now the summits, right, to rally and raise the call for more courageous mentors and leaders out there to come forward, inspire the next generation. So if you have not secured your tickets yet, right, go to our website, hercourageleaders.com. Right, the early birds price are out already, so quickly secure your early bird price.
Yeah, I've signed up and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you there.
Yes, and guess what? You will be meeting Miss Jacqueline personally in person, right? If you have secured the one with the lunch, right? You'll get to meet her in person over lunch and also the dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, looking
So,
forward to it.
all right. And okay, now let's talk about communities, right? So just I mean, we mentioned it quite a bit already, but how do you think communities like Class Living or WOCA, Women of Courage Asia, how do we actually contribute to fostering courageous leaders?
Definitely, I think you said it a few times earlier. Community is important because then we don't feel that we are alone doing this by ourselves, that there are other people out there, men or women, that is going on their own journeys. We learn from them. We we get inspired by them,
Mm.
and we basically motivate and support each other. I think that's the power of community, knowing that you're not alone, that you have this tribe of people around you who is there for you no matter what. No judgments, no perceptions, because they are doing it out of the good of their heart and they're doing it with good intentions. I think that's what community is about.
Yeah. And over here in our community, we are very open, right? We give each other permission to support us, and having the courage to be vulnerable, right? To practice being courageous in empathy, in being vulnerable. Yeah, I think vulnerability is something very, very challenging for many. Yeah. So, but in a safe environment, that's where you can practice the courage to be vulnerable, and that is why the community is so important. Yeah. All right. Now, is there one advice? I know I've been asking you for advice, but let's focus on the advice for the next generation, right? Um, who are may not see themselves as leaders yet. What is that one piece of advice about courage and leadership that you could give to the next generation of women leaders out there? What would that be?
Take courage.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid. It is better to do than fear doing, then later on regretting that you didn't do it. Um, be persistent, go for your goals. If that is what you want, map how you think that is the way forward towards that goal and go for it. Create good habits. I think we've learned that at the end of the day, habits is important. So don't give up. If you must, rest, but don't give up.
Hmm. Yeah, I think, wow, the last point really hit me there. Yeah, because we tend to, I mean, I can't speak for others, but, I hear it quite quite a lot also. Like in Singapore, especially, right? We are so fast paced. Yeah, everybody is moving so fast. Everybody is so busy doing something. Yeah, and then taking time to pause and rest, like you said, I think that is something that has been overlooked by so many, people that we know, right? They're always so busy, yeah, and that requires courage. It's so funny to even say that it requires courage to rest, to pause.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
what are we
people,
afraid of?
yeah, people are afraid of FOMO. That's the thing, right? Fear of missing out. They worry that if I stop, if I rest, then I'm going to miss out on all these other things. So, yeah, I think the society is such, but I think I do see that people are learning to take mental health more seriously, and they're
Yeah,
really doing self-care more seriously. So I think it's a good way forward. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's why, I mean, we learn from our mistakes, right? So therefore now we advocate that, right? We
Mm.
advocate, take time to rest. It's okay. It's okay. It's not to be okay.
Yes.
Just take a step back, take a rest. Later you can just play some catch up lah.
True. Yeah. But I know it's difficult, but I think, yeah, finding that momentum.
Yeah. So courage is
Mm.
not about, wow, saving the world or, like a firefighter going into the fire and saving somebody's life, right? That is admirable. Yeah. But we are talking about courage in our, you know, daily life.
Mm.
The bits and pieces in our lives, we do require courage for that, to speak up for yourself, to express your emotions, right? To even take a rest. Yeah.
Mm.
So talking about emotions, how do you, we are humans, right? Just now we said we're only humans. We will have emotions and we will have ups and downs, right? Different seasons of our life, especially in crisis, right? The emotion spike will be at its highest. How do you balance emotional and strategic sides of leadership? Because we got to make decisions as a leader, right? But we have emotions as well. So how do you balance that in terms of especially when you are facing the challenge that is going to create a transformative impact, but you have these emotions and this leadership? How do you balance that?
The 10-second rule.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say anything, don't act until you've given yourself time to reflect on what is happening or what has just been said. I think that helps a lot because when you I mean it's normal for all of us to be emotional. We are human beings after all. I
Yes.
think it's taking the step back, not necessarily always wanting to answer when somebody has, said something unkind or a situation has happened and then you get all frazzled and say, how are we going to settle this? Is taking a step back, maybe sometimes walking away, thinking about it, and then looking at how to resolve the situation. I think that at least it has helped me
Mm.
making sure that I don't then unnecessarily say things that you can't take back,
Yeah.
or do things that you can't unravel. So it's taking a step back and breathe. I think that's one of the things that we uh, need to do, or at least I've learned to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's great. The 10-second rules. Just do some deep breathing in the 10 seconds. I think that requires what I call that, self control, to learn to be able to,
Yeah.
and self mastery, right? Yeah, to pause and take a take take a deep breath, or even like you said, walk away. Yeah, right. Thank you for that 10 second rule. Yeah, and I think that's something really very practical that we can do. Is there any last words or encouragement that you want to share with the audience before I wrap this up?
I think don't be afraid. Be courageous, knowing that you are good enough,
Mm.
that it's okay not to be okay, that there are people around you that you can talk to or look for communities around you that can help you in your journeys. Yeah, I think that's what's I'd like to say to everybody. And of course, most important, see you at the Her Summit, Her Courage Summit. Yes, I think I'm
Yes.
looking forward to seeing all of you there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jack. And for our audience out there, if you have found inspiration in today's episode with Jacqueline, I encourage you to start taking action, right? Whether it's just simply stepping out of your comfort zone or creating new opportunities for yourself or even supporting a cause that drives positive change, like what, we're doing here, what we're doing our best to do here. Yeah. And stay connected with us. Stay connected with us. Firstly, by subscribing, sharing, or even leaving a review here in this episode. And if you would like to connect with Jack, right, check out the links that we will put in this episode, the description. So yeah, in her social media, in especially in our community meetings, and of course at the summit, right? So this
Yes.
has been another powerful episode of the Summit series of Voices of Courage Asia, where we inspire courage for transformative impact. So until next time, keep leading with courage and keep making a difference in the world.
Thank you,
See,
Lillian.
yeah, bye.
Bye.